Hi, Nick of the North. How are you tonight?
Hi, Scott.
Hi. Welcome to BA101, where we review beers that no one else tries.
Yay!
And today, we're going to try beers that remind you of the Fuzz. Happy birthday!
Birthday!
My cat got a hold of the Y.
Nice.
Now we
Happy
know why.
birthday to you.
Now we know why there's no why.
I'm
Right.
teaching phonies,
All
so I
right.
can help
So
you guys out.
as you guessed it, this is a BYOB episode where we're doing beers that remind us of Scott, because 2 weeks ago this guy just became the same age as I am, although he's
Wow, that's
more
old.
free beer than I do. He gets more free beer than all of us now at this point.
Oh, shut up, man. I just came out.
Yeah, you just came off of a bender that was sponsored by your work.
It wasn't a bender. Come on. It was training.
It was training your liver.
Yeah.
All righty. So who do we have with us tonight? We obviously know Scott's here. We'll ask him how he's doing in a second. Let's start off the other guy who hasn't been on the panel for a while.
The beard.
The beard.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
Beard.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday
Yeah.
to you, Scott. All righty. What you got with you there, Sir Beardo?
I went to the LCBO and wasn't quite sure until this just kind of appeared and was like, perfect.
Ah,
There you go.
Yeah.
that's
And look,
Scotty Ale.
it even has a picture of Scott right there. Look at it. Look, it's accurate.
I'm all handsome and, sparkly.
Scotty Ale.
This is from Kawartha Lakes Brewery. No, sorry, this is Old Dog Brewing Company that is in Kawartha Lakes. Shocking that the Old Dog Brewery would have a dog-themed beer. Shocking.
Chocolate.
So, what kind of beer is it? A Scotch ale or something? Or?
It's an ale, a single malt ale. Single malt Scotty is simply made with a single malt and small amounts of roasted barley, creating a beautiful copper color with deliciously subtle, nutty, toasty, and sweet caramel notes. Slanche.
Interesting.
Indeed.
Slanche. That's like a. I think Slanche is more Irish, isn't it?
That's just a way to say
Sounds
cheers. The
All right.
traditional way to say cheers.
All right. On. So thank you, Carrie. Let's go over to Gorg, Mr. Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hello, Nick. I'm back from the south, back in the north. Believe me, I still have faith in Care that he can get more free beers than Scott, so I know that's a thing.
Pretty tight.
It's a challenge.
Well,
You
challenge
just
accepted,
accept
but
it.
you're not going to win that, Scott.
It's been a while since I've gotten any, but Scott has to get a fair amount of beer to like
You can say that for more than
get
just beer.
to where I like the overall free beer I've received, I guess you'd say.
I feel Carrie's maybe he's not as consistent with his free beer, but right as Scott is about to catch up, somebody will gift him like a whole truckload. Hey, Carrie, we just dropped this entire. We don't know what to do with this truckload of beer. Can we just bring it to your place?
A truckload of 6-month-old Red Racers here. If you want.
Yeah, there we go. They're the old ones where you can see up her skirt. I'm joking to death. So anyway, I come back to you for some reason after I've been to the south for a bit. All my shirts have shrunk. I don't know. It must be a laundry or something. I don't know. They don't fit me.
Laundry
You're getting
problems.
fat.
Oh, well, no, I'm not getting fat. It's the shirt's fault. It's not mine. has nothing to do with eating like 3 meals a day at
To
restaurants.
be fair, like what year of the Albino Rhino Beer Fest is that shirt from? 'Cause
I think this is my oldest one. I think it's from.
it's like this, that's a logo that Guy designed. I think
Yeah,
Is
so
that,
We were
that-
learning-
before Chad in the last 2 years.
We were learning how to spell fat today.
Did you have a picture of me?
Fat.
Nice.
I better not be used as a prop in your classroom. Like, all right, kids, what's that? Fat.
Talking to my friend Greg yesterday.
Fat.
Fat.
Oh,
Jeez. All right, Greg, what do you got with you?
well, tomorrow you'll teach them forward chub, 4-letter word chub.
Chubby.
Well, fat's a 4-letter word, too. Fat's a 4-letter word.
That's true. I could be. Right now, I'm enjoying this.
Say
Woody.
Woody?
It'll be 3.
Right now, I'm just enjoying this caramel pumpkin.
3 phonies.
You'll be happy
How
to
is
know.
that? It sounds really good.
So right now, too cold. Too cold to really taste it.
Too
So I'm gonna put it away till later. It doesn't taste too different from regular pumpkin. It just has that kind of little extra sweetness, but it's not like a Dan beer, so it's not bad. I'm gonna see how it gets when it warms up, but whether it's better than the original, probably not. But yeah, it's not. They didn't make it awful. Anyways, in terms of my beer for Scott, well, based on the fact that Fat Greg needs to go on a diet, and we know where Scott works, and we know the kind of beer Scott likes, somebody had to phone in a beer for tonight, and I phoned mine in. So, but I didn't get Moosehead because I don't like Moosehead very often. So, what do they have at the LCBO? A good old cracked canoe.
And I know that.
And to be honest, I'm not even sure if I've had this before or not. So this might be a first-time try. I can't remember.
Pretty sure we
Isn't it like a really
BA'd
light
it, so
beer?
you would have.
It's very light. Isn't it like 30 something?
So it's
Yeah,
so
well,
it's an ultra light. So it's in the Michelob Ultra category.
He needs it, so it's okay.
Well, by time Lady, well, the thing is, I need to scale down a bit so that way, by the time Lady Lee's teaching her students what chubby is, a little bit longer word, I can just be chubby instead of
You can
fat.
be chubby.
Jesus. All right. Okay, so let's welcome back. Also, somebody who hasn't been on the panel for a while. Hey, Lady Lee.
Ooh.
Hello.
How you doing tonight?
I am exhausted, but I'm good. So I went to the LCBO. I managed to make it to the LCBO after work or after placement. And oh my God, the selection here is so amazing compared to fucking North Bay. Like, it's just night and day. Like, I can't even believe it. So anyways, I went and picked, I didn't even read the names or what the beers were. I just read the names and was like, yeah, this reminds me of Scott. So I'm going to start off with like the most obvious. I have one that says, Beach Me Up, Scotty.
Ooh.
And it's
That's
a dry
a very-
hop lager.
It's got a red shirt on it, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah.
a very
That's
strong
He
Scott
dies.
choice.
beer. That's
He
definitely a
dies.
Scott beer.
That's a strong choice.
That's a
Dry
strong
hop
choice.
lager. It's a 4.6%. And then
It's a
the
lager,
next one
too.
I have, this one, the name was really fun, and I think you are very fun.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So this one is called Jungle of Love Volume 2,
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Mm.
and it's a pink guava and orange sour. And this one's 4.8%. And then
Okay.
the last one is one that we seem to see once in a while in the chat because you pop up very infrequently. So you were kind of like the Sasquatch.
Uh-huh.
And the Sasquatch Schnitzel.
That looks like him
Schnitzel.
too.
Oh,
That
wow.
And
looks
this
like
is
him.
That's
a
kinda-
Vienna lager, a Vienna style lager,
Ooh.
and it is. Oh, I can't even find the percentage. 5.2%.
That
So Scott,
hold the picture up close. Like what is that? Looks like a sausage to me.
Sausage.
a schnitzel.
Schnitzel's a pounded flat piece of meat that's like fried, like a pork schnitzel.
It's a
something like that.
schnitzel. That's why it's there.
I've
No,
never
that's
seen a
very good
sausage
pounded
schnitzel.
meat.
I don't know.
Oh, really? You haven't been to Germany?
This is true. So yeah, I don't know.
So yes,
Yeah, like Wiener Schnitzel or something.
Okay, yeah, fair
Beat me
enough.
up.
Fair enough. That's touche.
Yeah,
beach me up, Scotty. Beach me up. Okay.
Yeah, beach me up.
I'm gonna
Beach
have to
me
leave
up,
the other ones in the
Scotty.
fridge, 'cause
So
I
who
think I wanna-
makes the Beach Me Up?
Is Perth Brewery.
Sorry, what kind of beer was the schnitzel thing?
Vienna lager, wasn't it?
Vienna style.
Oh,
lager.
okay, okay.
So this
Interesting
is
name.
from Kashipsi Beer.
Where are they
And then
from?
the other one was Cameron's Brewing.
We
in
know.
Oakville.
We know. Cameron's is pretty big. They've been around
This
for a
one's
while.
in Ottawa.
Oh, never heard of them.
I think this.
So
one-
as much as I would probably try number 2.
Yeah.
I'd want to try number 2. I think it's more appropriate for Beach Me Up.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Scott's got a.
It
We'll
shows
let
it.
Scott talk about his story about being a red shirt here in a moment. But okay, I guess we'll flip back. That's cool. We'll label it like that. All right, let's go back to the man of the half hour here. And Scott, first of all, how's your birthday?
Bertha is doing all right.
Yeah, good. And how
It
are
was
you doing?
on my
Oh,
actual
drunk.
birthday. I was sick in bed all day. Didn't even go to work.
Nice.
Yeah, not so fun. And so for my for my birthday party, had a couple people over, played some board games, good times.
Yeah, didn't invite me.
You know what's funny? I forgot to send you the invite, and then Valerie, my wife, she's like, "Oh, why didn't you invite Nick?" I'm like, "I totally invited Nick." And I look, I'm like,
And you look, you
invite
didn't.
Nick. I didn't. So,
But wouldn't Nick have
I
made
was-
the 7-minute trek?
You know what the funny part is?
probably
I was sick
didn't.
of the same cold, probably.
yeah,
So I was watching a movie when you were doing it, and I'm like, oh, fuck you.
yeah, it's all right.
All good.
It's fine. And then we had my daughter's birthday. She's 7 days after mine. So really, that was a nice party and stuff.
But
and
not
then
the same year.
not the same year.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Okay. But the last 3 days have been training with Moosehead with my company, and where they gave away shirts and that hat and sweaters and koozies and swag or whatever, and they forced me to try all kinds of different alcohol
Wow.
down the hatch. They held me in tight and just poured it down the hatch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't
So-
hoop any of it.
It was and it was at different points of the brewing process. They wanted you to try it and taste the difference. And yeah. So and they paired everything with different stuff, so you know how to pair things now. And they talked about the business and all that nice stuff. So what did I bring for beer? What do you think I brought for beer? Moose Lager, our flagship beer, the one that we sent out with beer with your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
This flagship beer is available in every province and territory in Canada, as well as 16 countries internationally, including places like France, Cuba, and I learned Iran.
Really?
You learned it. You learned and you ran.
I learned and I ran.
Now, if I was a young Iranian boy wanting to try my moose head, would I be able to get a fresh bottle of that in Iran?
No, we ship it in a shipping container. They don't
Okay,
brew
so-
it in
I'm
Iran.
amazed that people actually drink it over there. Aren't they pretty conservative there? Or
Not
Muslim?
all of them. It
Yeah.
depends. I don't think they're all Muslims, but
Hmm.
hey, this is a bunch of ignorant white guys on a beer show. 101.
It's true. Anyway, all right.
So, all
So
guys, and the significance of the red shirt. When I was just starting off my IT career, my nickname at work was Red Shirt because I was replaceable, and just a little guy that ran around. And I have a mug that says Scott Myers Red Shirt.
you still have it after all these years.
Still have it. It's up there in the cupboard. If I knew Lady Lee was bringing a red shirt beer, I would have totally gotten the mug, my red shirt mug.
Nice.
But we have a new addition to the cast.
We do. We have a late arrival in the form of Mr. Dan,
It's a
Hi.
Dan.
Western beer reviewer, whatever. Gaming.
Scott's #1 fan.
Apparently.
Right.
So,
Totally watched one of your videos.
totally watched one of my videos. I'm sure you did.
All right, Dan.
You
how
know, my
doing
boss
tonight?
has watched more videos than you have, Nick.
I've watched 3 of them.
Yeah,
Videos.
He spent he spent 2 hours
I watched-
watching my shit. Apparently.
Oh wow. Yeah, looking for something to fire you with.
Yeah, probably, but whatever. At least it didn't dive back into the later years. Anyways, I didn't have time to run out and get a moose head, unfortunately. So there's that. I
Alberta
did
is
get
our
something.
Alberta is our third largest zone in Canada,
Yeah, we drink a lot.
and you have a whole bunch of maritimers in the fields
Yeah,
of Fort Mac.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, do we ever?
yeah.
Oh,
So that's why That's why Alberta is our third biggest zone in Canada. Our second biggest zone is New Brunswick,
Well, I think there's a
Who's the
reason for
biggest
there.
then?
Ontario.
Ontario? Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they drink more than we do.
There's more people.
Yeah.
Suppose.
So what I brought was not exactly something that I could say is relatable to Scott, unless he's like a space cadet or
Yes.
maybe even was puffing on something. But it is from
Sparkle Buff.
where Newfoundland. So I got space puffin.
Ooh.
Oh,
You're space puffin.
It kind of reminded me
You're a
of a
space puffin.
maritimer, which Scott is.
This is it's a
Oh.
NEPA coming at 6% alcohol by volume. So
did you call Newfoundland from the Maritimes?
Hey, we have
Mhm.
puffins here too.
No. Did you say Newfoundland was part of the Maritimes?
I don't know. Is it? Yeah, maybe.
No, it is. No, it is not.
Part of Atlantic Canada, if it's not part of the Maritimes.
Yeah, fuck. It's over. It's over east. It's past.
It's those like
it's
fucking
past the
Eastern
universe,
people.
so-
They're all the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Dan,
Hey,
UB
Mr.
Sears.
Myers, shut the fuck up.
goddamn-
You're not the
goddamn
teacher here.
Westerners.
You're gonna get all offended, like if someone said that
Scott's
we're not
fun.
that I'm not in Northern Ontario or something like that.
That's right. Hey, UB Sears, Dan. You're all alike.
So
Fucking
who
rights
makes
we are.
Cheers.
Who makes that beer, Dan?
You be Sears. We closed down department store.
Sears.
Banished Brewing.
Banished Brewing.
Banished Brewing out
Oh
of.
man.
I want to say that I can't even read that.
It's a cool looking label.
Paradise out of Paradise, Newfoundland.
Really?
Cool
It's-
label for this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean that's as east I
It's an
can.
East Coast beer.
Yep, it's an East Coast beer. So I mean, there is some resemblance to Scott. No.
So an
Is
East
there
Coast dude
resemblance
is
to
probably
Scott?
puffing on something.
Yeah.
I'm as white as the ghost on the can.
There we go. There we go.
Wow.
It's pretty
All right.
white.
Wow. It's as white as the people
Jesus
that
Christ.
Greg visited last week.
Translucent, just like a ghost.
I didn't get
All
any
right.
sun this year.
So that's what I
All right.
brought with me.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. I guess it's my turn to debut before we get to the comments because they're piling up, although they're just from Lee, who totally didn't show up tonight. So the beer that I brought, this one, I guess technically it's a Moosehead product, so that reminds me of Scott. That would have been the obvious choice, and I kind of thought that Scott was going to bring in Alpine because that'd be the beer that reminds me the most of Scott. Like, because like as long as I've known him and he's been a beer drinking age, it's usually Alpine is the first choice that he goes to. He's even got. Do you still have that giant like meter tall Alpine bottle decoration?
No, I got a hole in it. Cat got to it.
Your
all right.
cat's an asshole.
There's a picture of me at a party at your place once. It's like me in a Hawaiian shirt with a lei around my leg, and I'm holding a giant Alpine bottle. Anyway, however, I decided to try one of the other products there. So I went to the brewery last weekend, and I tried. I looked. It's like, okay, which one's the most Scott of all these beers? And I figured I'd pick this one up, which is
Excellent.
Derek's Single Hop American IPA, which is a fairly new product from Moosehead. Derek
Limited
is he's not the current CEO, is he, or is he?
He is the current chairman.
He's the current chairman, but I'm pretty sure Scott's met him. And
I saw him yesterday.
awesome, there you go. So that's part of it. And the other side of the coin here is the fact that it's an IPA, to which it's poison to Scott. So that was naturally the biggest reminder I had of a Scott beer right there. It's Moosehead. That's his boss, and it's poison. There you go.
So
That's
I
the
have a
story.
whole bunch of things to say about that. We've had extensive education about that particular beer.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll let you
So-
talk about that in a moment. Let's unless you know what, Scott, do you want to read all the comments?
Sure.
All right. You're up.
All right. Welcome back to Canada, Greg. You look very fat from all those American sloppy foods from the deep south, says Lee Russell. Lee Russell, Crack Canoe, the
Jeez.
choice of kings.
Lee Russell's being honest. That's so unlike him.
Lee Russell. Lee's second choice is really stretching the criteria. That would be Lady Lee, not Lee, because it's not his.
That'd be weird if he was referring to himself as the third person.
Yes. So yeah,
Especially
so
since he's not here.
that's Lee's. Lee Russell also says, "Shut up, Redbeard." I don't
Fuck
know
you,
why.
Lee.
Yeah,
Oh
but-
wow.
Because he corrected himself. It's a
oh.
joke. Haha.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it was for the schnitzel thing.
Oh.
Which again, Google the word schnitzel. You don't see a sausage anymore. I'm just saying.
Lee Russell says Nick wears red shirts more than anyone else in this group of friends.
He's not wrong.
That may be true, although I wear blue shirts at work every day. So
I wear blue shirts
I
at
guess
work
that
as
just
well.
means
You're
that
wearing
I'm
a
sciences.
uniform. You're wearing a
That means
uniform in honor of
I
Joe?
do wear a uniform at work. It also means that I'm more of in the sciences division of the Starship rather than the away team.
Nerd.
Lady Lee says hashtag bad friend Lee. Lee Russell responds with, "Yeah, fuck you. I was too busy, Nick."
Mm-hmm.
Too busy having a beer in your backyard and taking pictures of it? What?
And then watching the show tonight. I imagine
He
you were
was helping with
podcasting.
backyard work.
Dan has joined the chat. That's what she said.
Whoa.
Lee Russell back
Dan?
to it. Plus, haven't we done this show like 5 times this year? I don't know.
Well, beer analysis. That sounds about right. Yeah.
No. Lady Lee says you're 5 times this year. Lee
Oh.
Russell, I don't know what that means, but probably no.
Anal.
Lady
could
Lee
be
says
anal.
Had
you're
5 times.
you're
this year?
probably a no.
Well.
Well, and then Albino Reno, you're a probably. Lady Lee says, "Oh me, oh my, you have uncovered my hidden identity."
As if you actually
Albino-
typed out.
You'll
"Oh, me, oh,
never
my." That's
guess
fucking
my
hilarious.
secret identity.
Albino Reno, I'm drinking most Canadian because I loved it at Scott since high school.
Yeah, secret identity. You can fly with spray paint cans. It's awesome.
I don't think Albino Reno has loved me since high school, but we'll go with
I've
it.
known you since high school. I've known you before that.
Albino Reno, it is what it is, and Lee Russell, I know I'm a no. We're
I
in the
knew
no.
I loved you before I met you.
Okay. So do you want me to talk about the choice of Nick's beer,
Sure. Why don't
the
we make it?
extensive education that I got from the last 3 days about that beer?
Let's see if
Oh
you know more
my.
about it than I do, because I know that.
That beer is
Beer.
the 6th in the line of beers that have been produced by Moosehead to honor the chairman / CEOs of all the of all past Moosehead CEOs, right?
Okay.
Each of the beers that they have are inspired by the type of beer that they've introduced or the type of beer that they've done in their tenure, all the way back to Suzanne
Suzanne
Olin. Yeah, Suzanne Olin, who could not put her name on the brewery because she was a woman in the 1800s.
Terrible.
And so she named her brewery S. Olin and Sons. But I'm getting away from the current topic. I can go over the rest of it later. But Derek took over the company in the 60s and 70s and went to a trade show in the Admiral Beatty Hotel here in St. John. At the time, it was a hotel. And he went to the trade show, and at the trade show, he heard and took to heart the phrase, "You need to export or die," because in this area of the country is not big enough to support growth of this nature. So you need to export or die. So he decided to take the company and export to the United States, the first time ever. If you take a look at the can has a truck on it. That truck is the exact truck used to export the first cases of Moose Lager down to the States.
It's Optimus Prime.
Yep. He actually got the VIN number of the truck, found it, and found that it was still working, and got the picture done on that. He was highly involved in the making of this beer, highly consulted. It had to be just right. It went through 2 iterations because the first iteration, he said, was too hoppy. It is a delicious tasting beer. And Lady Lee, I have one that I'm going to send to you.
Wow.
Perfect.
It's going to be part of the one with your name on it. It's a very fruity beer. Lots of pineapple forward tasting in it. And it's not too piney. It's not too IPA poisony. Anyway, I enjoy it, and I tell some of the shippies that come in that they should try that one, and the East Coast IPA is another one I get them to try. So yeah, that's the Derek Oland. That's the Derek Oland blend of beer, and I saw him yesterday. He usually comes in. I fixed up his Bluetooth in his new truck, so that his phone connects to it right away.
Nice.
And he lives in St. George, New Brunswick, on the river or on the bay.
Cool.
So, is that more stuff that you know of?
Yeah, no, you got that one.
That's really cool, actually.
Scott is really cool.
It's pretty neat. So
That's why you're
I
my
guess
number one fan.
we'll ask you. We'll do one more thing, and this is going to be just as long of an explanation, I think, given what you've been saying so far. But this is the part of the show where we normally circle around and ask people their history of the beer. So, do we really need to ask you your history of Moosehead at this point?
Moosehead Lager, the flagship beer of the Moosehead family.
Holy fuck!
I'm gonna tell you right now, as someone who's in training, you got to keep people engaged.
That's right. In my training class that I just finished today, the salesperson got me to do the 30-second elevator pitch for Moose Lager. So I know a lot more about Moose Lager. Moose Lager was brought in after a little while after Derek's father went over to Europe and to get some recipes for lagers. Before that, Moosehead was an ale, pretty much ale forward or ale only brewery. But it started with Alpine and then moved to Moose Lager because the sugar content in lagers are more susceptible to the market in North America. But the reason why we only did ales was because it was the best type of beer brought over by the Europeans. It kept the longest, and that's why ales came over to North America first. But as transportation got easier to do, we went out
for refrigeration trucks.
Yeah. Right. We went out to Europe and picked up some more lagers. And I can tell you about the temperatures of lagers and ales, what they need to be brought up to the temperature of, what Moosehead did to revolutionize how to filter. They were the first persons to bring in some new technology. But what really want to talk about is the beer. So I'll try to keep on topic.
Yeah, I was thinking like this is a good story about the history of Moosehead on top of the history of the Derek and all
sure.
that.
But,
I was asking your personal history with Moosehead.
It's growing extensively.
We're keeping everybody engaged except for the rest of the panel.
So I'll be as concise as possible.
Don't worry, it's a nice guy.
Can Miss Hardy just explain this to us instead? At least we'll listen to her.
Hey, Greg. Fuck you, Greg. So,
Hi, Scott.
hi. So lagers, like I said, flagship beer. We spill very little of it. It is liquid gold in our industry or in our shop. We ship out almost 3-to-1 moose lagers than anything else. And we did a recent rebrand. This is a new brand label. We did a recent reblend of the moose. And we had a recent promotion. It's called Beer with Your Name on It. We did a Beer with Your Name on It with everybody, mostly everybody on the panel here, for the exception of Lady Lee. And Lady Lee, I have your Beer with Your Name on it. It is in my fridge, and along with an Oland IPA that I'll send to you as soon as I can get it.
Will it be fresh when she gets it?
It's pretty fresh. It's pretty new. Like, what's fresh, according to you? Like, it's not off the line yesterday, but
Oh well, it's just a drain pour then.
it's a drain pour. Yes.
Scott, blink 3 times if you're in trouble.
If I'm being coarse, is there someone holding a gun to my back? Is there someone back there around the corner? I'm doing everything like you told me to.
There we go.
All right.
What is the story behind? Did you say anything about the shirt you're wearing? Courage to do.
So this is one of the shirts that we've just come out with. The Courage to Do. One of our main focuses is the courage to be bold and to change the landscape of beer, to change what everyone thinks a good beer is. And we want to focus on quality, and we want to focus on the courage to be better. And the back of the shirt has all the things that we have the courage to want to do.
Fancy bitch.
And so be bold, be courageous, have the best beer.
I'm surprised I didn't force you to memorize everything on the back of that shirt. That'd be kind of funny if you could reset the entirety of it.
They've showed it. They've showed this list to me at least twice in the last 3 days.
That's not that many times. Like,
Nice.
Yeah, but every
You
time
have to repeat it 4 times.
Every time he made a mistake, they zapped his testicles.
what is up with the bottom of that cup that you just? Is it like clear in the bottom of it? That's fancy shit. Hold it up. Let the people see what I just noticed. Tilt it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Where'd you get that at?
It was a wedding gift.
Oh, okay.
Is it engraved or anything?
Yep.
I know why they did that in the old days. I got history behind that one.
Oh,
Well, we'll talk about your history
Dan.
when we get to your history, Dan. All right. So, yeah, we've been taking long enough on the Moosehead subject, so let's go over to red beer and talk about. Yeah, let's talk about a different beer from a different brewery. That reminds you of Scott.
It's pretty good. And it's done. So,
No, history of your beer, dude.
It's history.
it's
We-
pretty
we-
good. It's
this
done.
is how
That's my history of it.
That's how long we've been doing this. All right.
Like,
So,
Are we doing our ratings right now? We're not.
No,
There's no
history.
average or anything right now. Why not
the
throw them in
history
together?
thing is supposed to be
We're
a
doing
pretty
a
quick
history.
thing. So, hope you get another can. So, what was your history with that? You just the first time you're trying it?
That was my history of it.
All right.
And it was
there
pretty
There
good.
you go. Okay, so let's go over to who's next? Greg.
Hi, Nick. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you, but Greg's not there. So let's go over
Wow, harsh.
to. I was joking with him.
Oh.
Is he actually coming back there?
Oh. I didn't know. I
There's-
couldn't see
there's
my.
his
I couldn't
crotch.
see my screen. Oh, I was getting another beer while I was waiting for Scott to finish.
Are you
his
out of
can.
breath?
Yes,
You're
because
all
I'm,
waiting for Scott to finish.
yes, because I'm fat and I can't go upstairs anymore. This is a problem. Also,
Are you getting one of those? Did you bring back one of those chairs from America that glides you up the stairs?
Well, Dan, I'll have you know that when my father was dying, we had one of those in our house. Thank you for bringing.
Oh,
Thank you for
Well, I
bringing
think you
that
need to
back.
bring
That
it
memory.
back
way to
there,
bring the
sir.
shit
I think
chat
you need to
down
bring
with
it back
Dad.
then, sir.
No, we
Just in
we
case.
sold it for pennies on the dollar because it took up a lot of room in the garage, and also, and you'd be surprised, there's not a great market for those on the second hand.
Isn't Dan also devoid of a father at this point in time? So
Yes,
so Dan's allowed to dead shame. Like me, Dan,
Yeah,
and Greg,
allowed to dead
we're
shame.
all
Yeah.
allowed to dad shame. Oh, look at that! Scott's in the club too.
But did
Yeah,
any of you have a
we
dead
are the
dad
only
that needed
ones
one of
here.
those gliding chairs?
No, I had a dead dad that had seizures because of the fact that he had a brain tumor and he couldn't get in and out of the bathtub himself, so he had to have help.
But he did need a gliding chair, Dan.
If he was in a second level place at that point in time, he would have needed it.
All right,
He
you
was
know
paralyzed
what?
on the
All right,
left-hand
all right,
side.
My dad was in the
Hey,
hospital for the
okay,
last month or so.
moving
He was yelling at me.
Anyways, continue.
Everyone, dead dad battle has commenced.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you, Scott.
Happy birthday, Fuzz. I get it. Yeah. Your
Happy
dad's dead
birthday.
All right, Greg, continue on.
My history of this beer is, yes, I was on beer analysis and we did it before, and I've had it once or twice since then. That's my history. It's not something I buy on any regular basis. Nor do I buy any Moosehead product on a regular basis because they don't send us the good stuff, Scott. Come on, send us the good stuff. Also, I have an orange shirt because it's Halloween. Fuck you guys for not celebrating the season.
Okay.
I'm in my work clothes still.
Well, you should be out of your work clothes.
I have an eerie orangish glow behind me. Fuck you.
You also kind of have an orange beard, so that makes up for it.
Which hat?
The good stuff, the good beer, is the stuff I bring you.
I know. I like
Greg,
Moosehead product.
What's your history?
That's
He
my
said his
history.
history.
He
He said his
said it.
history.
I've
All
had
right,
I had it like 3 times before. That's it.
All right, Lee's turn. Lee,
Uh,
what's your history with the beer?
I have 0. It was literally just I thought a cool name. I saw Scotty on it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, here, Scott beer, Scott." Woo.
Good call.
Is
The
that
end.
does it have the Federation of Beer on the side as well, perchance? Or is
No,
it?
That's a good point. Like, is it?
It's a Scottish
'Cause
flag.
there is like a line of like or a federation of like Star Trek themed beers.
God.
There.
Yeah, because there's
Like, that's a thing.
yeah. Because
Like, I've had the
company
the Klingon Wardnog from them. The Garrison made it one year.
Yeah,
I'm
and the
pretty
Federation of Beer. put
Full
their
beer,
name on it. Nope,
full beer
nothing
brewing
there.
in Timmins made a really tasty Klingon themed spicy beer.
So I kind of this one made me interested because it actually has the ingredients versus like may contain. So it's water, malted barley, hops, yeast, and hibiscus flower. And everything that I thought was going to be in there, hibiscus was not one of them.
Nice.
Hibiscus is delicious.
It's magically delicious.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over to who's next. Mr.
Dan the man.
Dan.
There.
What's your history
Pumpkin
with beer?
themed, orange themed stuff. Fuck you guys. Anyways, my history with this beer is you're looking at it. I've never seen this in our area, and I've never heard of the brewery, and it actually kind of sounds cool. And they got a really cool label. I do like the label. So my history is pretty much this.
Label out.
Label out.
You're
Laces
this.
out. Laces out.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sub out Greg for a second because he's not there at the couch, and add in Reno.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey,
It's
yep.
it's Quantum Leap guy.
How's it going? I heard it was Scott's
Hi.
birthday.
It
It
was
is.
my birthday.
Yeah.
A while
It was.
How
What's your
old are
shitty
you,
friend?
buddy? 20, 25?
Yeah. It's funny. I mistakenly shaved my my beard too short, and now I had to shave the rest of the beard and leave the goatee, and made me look 5 years younger. So my real age 43. My age that I'm looking 38.
Nice. So are you an IPA guy or a stout guy?
I am not an IPA guy.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take this one. Russell Brewing Root Beer Stout.
E. Russell Brewing.
I need to find that one again.
How
That does
fitting.
sound delicious.
So we'll circle back to you, Jamie. But what's your history of that beer?
I just saw it today. I picked it up because root beer spelled backwards is pretty close to reboot. It works good. Like since Scott is you're a computer salesman for Steam Whistle, right?
Sure.
Something like that. So that's all I got.
What the fuck?
Sells those super Steam Whistle components for your
the extra
PCs.
The extra I actually add the steam in the whistle.
Yeah, if you steam power your PC, it just gets better.
Yep.
So
I think it's funny that Greg's not in the chat right now because you're talking Steam Whistle without him. I see him waving.
All right, you can throw me back out.
All right.
Happy
Throw you out.
We'll
birthday, Scott.
stick around. We'll circle back to you. Hi, Greg.
Oh, hey.
Nick, look, I have a cat.
Hi, Lee. Nice pussy.
She needs a
This is such-
shave. We're gonna shave that pussy.
She's such
All
a
right,
friendly
so let's put me. I'll try to be quick about my history because obviously I've got an extensive history with Moosehead. Maybe not quite as extensive as what Scott has, but as far as
I want to
this
know your
beer
history
goes,
with Scott.
that's
I
actually
want to know your sexual history with Scott.
Well, of course, that's obvious.
I've had sex
Don't cross
in
the
his apartment.
There we go.
I got a
Jesus
blowjob in his
Christ.
bathroom one time.
From
Oh,
him.
Scott, you dirty boy!
Not from Scott. It was at a party.
Inappropriate.
And I had totally noble intentions when I went in that washroom, but things got out of
Were you taking
Wait.
a dump at the same time?
Anyway, all right, so
Blumpkin.
let's move along. History
Nick
with
got a
this
bl-
beer.
Nick got a blumpkin.
This beer, this is a relatively new release. I had it for the first time on tap at Moosehead after a bike ride when I was doing my Lornville Loop thing on Saturday mornings a couple weeks ago. I noticed that they canned it as well, and I did my Saturday morning bike ride out in Lornville last weekend. I bought a couple of cans and took them home. This is my second of the two. I almost feel like I liked it better on tap because it tasted maybe a little bit fresher, but it's still pretty good. But I'll get into my thoughts of that in a moment. Obviously, I've never met Derek before, but I do appreciate his contribution to the company because he is the one that, as Scott was saying, is responsible for the Moosehead exporting to the U.S., which has turned Moosehead into an international brand. It's cool. And, of course, I appreciate Scott, too. All right, so we've been on the air for a while. We probably have some opinions formed, so
No, we don't.
You want us to circle back, Scott?
Oh, opinions and scores? I can do that.
Yeah, I was just wondering really, do you have to think too hard about Moosehead and what you think of it?
So I can say something about the beer.
You drank like 200 of them already this year.
Yeah. So so it's a flagship beer. Everyone that's really tried it quite loves it. It's a different kind of lager. It's a full-bodied lager. A little bit sugary, not as tart. Like it's a different tasting than Alpine, which is also a lager. And for style, I'm gonna give it. We're at a 5s, right?
10.
Tens.
We're at 10s.
5.
Yeah.
10.
What?
10.
10s.
10. Decent.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for style, and for personal enjoyment, I will also give it a 9 out of 10.
Favoritism.
Really?
Nice.
Jesus, it's almost like you work there.
All right.
Someone was gonna say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I coughed. Favoritism.
Way to hold back from the 10, Scott. Good job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah,
All right.
I can't give it a 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Scott. All right, so let's go to Carrie and see if he remembers anything of his beer.
It was good. It was it was darker, but yeah, just malty, little sweet, really easy drinking. 4.7, nice and light. Like, I don't know, just a tasty beer. Not something I'd usually gravitate towards, but I'm honestly glad I grabbed it. I'm going to give it again, just for being an ale, it doesn't really say any kind of specific style on the beer, which is kind of weird. So just a single malt beer.
Was it smoky at all, or more like a red ale?
And it had a bit of a kind of smoke. Again, it had the roasted malt in it, so that came through a little bit. I'm not single malt beer, single malt ale. I don't freaking know. I'm sure I've had something else with just a single
More
malt.
like single malt's usually associated with whiskey.
Yeah. I'm gonna, because I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna go 7.5 for the style. Enjoyment, I'm gonna give that an 8.5. That was quite tasty.
All right, thank you, sir. Let's go to Mr. the Greg and see what he thinks of his cracked canoe. Look at that face.
Tell me how much
There's your gift.
Well, since I haven't signed a contract not to disparage Moosehead products, I will say. So, again, this is sort of where I have to put my thinking cap on. Basically, I think about a lager like this. I think about, okay, this is a beer you want to drink by a pool, maybe by a patio with some friends or something. And we rated Moosehead not too long ago, and I did not give it a particularly great rating. I don't remember what I gave it, like a 5.55, because I don't feel it hits that mark. Unlike Scott, I don't think it tastes very good. I think it tastes like corn chip soda. It's not as bad as a Molson Canadian or anything like that, but it's not great. I'm sorry, it's not. I don't work for them. If you want to pay me money, Moosehead, I'll love your product too. I will. I'll give it a 10 out of 10 all day long. I will sell out in a second. But
Jesus
until then,
Christ, you tell Greg's been down the States the way his hand moves there. I'm sorry, it's not.
is that a U.S. thing? I don't know.
Watch Donald
Dan's
Trump and look again.
Dan's voice just matched it too. Like that was what was great about that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to grow out the front of my hair and just like comb it back.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, continue, Greg.
I have the best hair. Anyways,
I'm the one with ADHD.
well, I think this group has undiagnosed ADHD. Anyways, this better than original Moosehead. I'll tell you why. Because there's less of it. It's more watery, 3.5%. You still get a little bit of the cornness, but nice and cold, even when it warmed up a little bit. Not particularly offensive. Tastes more like water. What you want from a pool lager. 3.5%, so you could drink these all day long. Why not? And literally just tastes like water. There's a tiny bit of beer taste. Like I had a Perrier not too long ago, and it was almost more flavorful than this. But again, for what this is, I think this actually hits the mark. I think this is what you want from this. It is not something I'd gravitate to on a regular basis, but if you're having a pool party, throw a bunch of these out. Your friends will enjoy it because they won't know what they're drinking.
Would you have it after a bike ride to refresh and rehydrate?
I usually prefer having a protein shake after a bike ride. I find that's a better use of my calories to try to build and maintain muscle. Which Lord knows I need to do because I've built and maintained too much fat. So I try not to have beer after a bike ride, Scott. If I were to choose to have a beer after a bike ride, I'd probably go with something light like this. Yes, I wouldn't go with some big, heavy beer that's just going to go against my effort to try to get better. So
would you choose that over a Michelob Ultra?
Yeah, it's been a while since I had a Michelob Ultra, but I remember Michelob Ultra being particularly offensive. So yes, I would say this is better. Yes, Michelob Ultra is not a great beer.
No, but that's the style, that's the direction that beer's going, right? That's the focus of that beer. It's for the people who want to have a few by the fire and be able to drive home, or after a long bike ride or a long workout, go out and have a beer with your friends.
Imagine if everybody brought a Moosehead themed product and Scott was just going off and giving interviewing. What do you think of the beer? What do you think of this?
Miss Hardy would definitely be late tomorrow.
Scott, somebody needs to send I don't know, but it's, I guess calling ourselves up right now. Scott, you need to send a link to your higher ups and let them see this video tomorrow. So way. Well, no.
You were disparaging.
I want to do it then because I feel like you're doing a great job of promoting you. You're not working right now, but you're doing a great job.
Being a Moosehead shill.
Every Moosehead employee is a Moosehead salesperson, no matter what position they hold.
Still, I feel like you're doing a good job, and I feel like your higher ups would enjoy it.
Anyway, all right. So
there we go.
What did you get, Greg?
I haven't rated it yet. We've gone off tangent a little bit. Anyway. Anyway, so I'll say now I do lump this in with the regular Moosehead Lager because I consider them both pool beers. I don't think either one of them are highfalutin, put your finger up, drink it out of a tulip beer. I think they're both for the same purpose. This one will just, a little bit cleaner, actually a lot cleaner, and won't get you shit faced. So maybe this is better for driving. Regular Moosehead if you want to get a little shit faced a little quicker.
So you can drink and drive.
Well, I think with this you could drink and drive within reason because I don't think this would get you past the limit unless you knock back 4 of them really quickly, which actually is possible because it's if you could chug. I can't chug beer personally, but if you could chug beer, you can knock these back real easy. So I think I give regular Moosehead I think I gave it a 5.5 a few weeks ago. So for me, that's kind of a bare pass, but not a great beer. I'm gonna go better with this one. I'm gonna create a session. Oh. Hello, Layla. Layla's here. Let's see what Layla thinks of it. Nope. That's a negative. That's a negative from her. I think so for like a session beer. I think it actually not bad. It does what it needs to do. Still a little bit of that corn taste. Don't like the corn taste, but I'm gonna go 8 on style for that because actually I think it is good for what it wants to do. My own personal enjoyment. I want to go with a 6 on it, but I feel if you compare it to my Moosehead rating, I feel it's better than half a point better than Moosehead, but maybe I'm just in a different headspace because I want to go 6 on this. I'll go 6.5 because I love Scott. It's his birthday. I'll go 6.5 on this, but I do actually feel that there's more of a point in difference in this. Like I would happily drink this over a flagship Moosehead any day of the week, just because
flagship Moosehead.
I wish I was a flagship Moosehead. I'm more of a moose knuckle, really, but
Right.
I do think this is significantly better than the regular one. Taking in mind if you want to drink water, and that's the purpose of this kind of beer. Is you want to drink basically water that's slightly alcoholic, and it basically hits the mark on that.
Right on. Yeah, I find just so I can add a couple of words to Kraken New, I find when it comes to those lightweight, like really ultra light lagers like Michelob, like Kraken New is the best one there is. It still tastes like actual beer.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I had Michelob Ultra, but I remember it being not good.
Skunky.
Horrible. Yep. Or like Amsterdam 86, or there was also like Molson Canadian 67. You remember that crap?
Well,
Yep. Yeah.
My wife used to drink that. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because she used to work for who?
But that will remain on. Yeah, actually, she did work for Molson, much like you. She got free products, although unlike you, she didn't shill for them.
It's funny. I picked up an old flyer that I found today at training, and it was from 1986, and we used to produce Molson Canadian in the brewery.
Nice. Oh, we went back when you had to have that stuff brewed regionally, like within the province.
Yep.
And then they opened the big brewery outside of Moncton. So,
right.
Also, I got a vintage 1983 glass. That's the year Scott was born. So, I mean, I'm paying tribute to him.
Yeah, right. All right. So, speaking of tributes, let's go to Lee.
Well, she's on the phone with someone else.
Okay, we'll skip to Lee and go to Dan. We'll come back.
Hi. Oh, I'm here. Okay.
Sorry, can you just switch? Sorry, I have to take a call. So if you guys can just switch to me, and I'm just gonna jump off.
Yep, sure.
Oh, fine.
Okay, sorry about that, Dan.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, way to pay tribute.
So this beer is it's great. It's a very light tasting beer, so there's nothing like too harsh about it. There's nothing that's like when you drink it, like I find with a lot of lagers, like they usually have like that harsh aftertaste, and it really puts me off. This one, oddly enough, as it's been kind of getting a little bit warmer, I've been enjoying it more, which I think is like the most unusual thing to even say about a lager. But it's just a good beer. Like it's just a solid. I know it's a dry hop lager, but it's a solid lager. It took me a while, but I did start to notice that there is that little bit of hint of hibiscus in the background. So it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like overpowering. It just gives you like a little different to make it say like, cool, this is a lager. This is our twist on it. So there's really nothing offensive when it comes to that. There's nothing like in your face, overpowering, gross. It's just this nice little hint that you taste in the background. So just a very solid beer in general. Also, name's Larry, but I'm gonna give. That was loud. I'm gonna give this beer for style. I'm gonna go at 8.5. I'm enjoying it
Nice.
I've literally been trying to save a little bit for this review, so it went down very quickly. And yeah, it's just smooth. It's got this really smooth taste to it. So yeah, definitely recommend. And then for I said personal preference or style. I can't remember.
It said style.
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 Yeah, let's just go 8.5 all around. It's a solid beer.
Right.
I mean, it's aces, man. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So
you can put me in the
before you
background.
depart, before you leave, Lee, of all the beers here you'd had tonight, which one would you rather have that you've heard of so far?
I'm gonna go with.
And she froze.
You know what? I know he's my enemy most
And-
of these, but I'm gonna go with Dan.
Oh, Dan. Okay.
Oh,
There
really?
you go.
Okay.
Did I freeze?
Okay.
Am I back?
No, you did, but you're back.
Oh, you're still there.
Okay. So you heard it? It's good.
Yep,
We're
Yep.
good.
good.
We're good.
Cheers.
Okay,
Have a good night.
I'll be on the background if you need me, but
We're
You can
still
just
we're
throw
still
me
gonna vote for
Awesome.
your beer, so you beat Dan.
okay. I'll just be in the background. You can throw me in the
You're
background.
still better than Dan. All right. Thank you, Lee.
I never. Are we going around again to do the voting thing? Why don't we incorporate
No,
that
no,
into?
I figured that we would do that. Yeah, we're going around again. So shut up. So
Jesus Christ!
that was Lee. Let's go back to Dan.
56
Sorry, Dan.
minutes.
I mean, 56. God, that means
Sometimes
we've got
these things go
lots
for
of
an hour and a
time
half.
left. Let's do it 2 hours. Let's go.
All right, let's do it like a bender, like Scott's been doing for
Fucking
56
right. Let's
hours
do
of
this.
drinking. That's his
Alrighty. So that being said, okay, this beer, as much as it would kill Scott, I'm sorry, it does have the IPA in there, and it probably would kill you.
No, I like IPAs. I just don't prefer them.
Yeah,
This
hops
one-
are
this one you
like
must-
cocaine type things, you know.
They are to some degree. But that being said, this actually is a really good beer. I really do like it. It's got those nice juicy notes. It's got some nice hop notes to it. I don't even know when it was brewed. I don't know the expiry date on it because they didn't label that, or at least if they did, it was smeared all over the bottom of the can, which is fine. I actually would go out of my way to buy this again, and I probably will if no one else has bought the rest of them. Coming from the East Coast, I was actually quite pleasantly surprised. It's actually one of those beers that like I said, I really enjoy. These go down 6%. They're nice. They work for me. So for the style, as a NEPA, it works really well. I'm going to have to say 9 for style. And for enjoyability, well, I've been trying to hold on to this last little bit so I can actually look like I'm still drinking and reviewing and smelling and enjoying. And it's a 10. Like this is what I look for in these types of beers. It hits every single mark for me. So yeah, that's my enjoyability. That's my style. And oh wait, there's at the very top, 0305 2023, and it's still fucking good. Cheers.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That 5 has got to be the month then, but even still, that's 5 months old.
It's still really fucking good. It's got a lot of flavor to it.
I'm just kind of
And you guys call.
I am
you guys
too.
Called,
so good enough,
I am.
good enough to get a 10 after being
Yeah.
5. I'm blown away right now.
Yeah.
You guys called me a shill.
I
I
never
just
called
wanted-
you a shill. I said you're doing a good job of your job, which is to shill.
I just wanted to be like you, Scott. I'm your number one fan.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right,
Hey.
J-May,
Hey, is it my turn?
it is your turn.
Oh, Jam.
It tastes like root beer. It's pretty good.
Yes, excellent.
And it says it right there that it tastes like
Yep.
root beer. So immediately 10 out of 10.
Style.
No, actually, I don't mind it. It's very thin for a stout, but it's a 6. Sorry, I'm not having a good
When you say it tastes like root beer, like what? If you, were
6%.
if you were to compare it to a can, like a root beer, what
It has a
root beer does that taste like?
sarsaparilla kind of flavor to it.
I'm asking the person drinking it, Dan. What the hell?
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
so
And I can
it
answer
is-
too because I've had lots of it too.
What would be so A&W would be a pretty sugary root beer. It doesn't
Yep.
taste like that. What would be a thinner root beer? Like one where it's more the root taste but not a sugar taste, if that makes sense.
Barks root beer.
Barks.
Yeah, maybe Barks.
Barks
where
has
it's-
bite.
It
Johnny?
doesn't. It's not sweet like sugary sweet. It's carbonated. It has the a root beer flavor to it. It's certainly not like a thick stout or anything like that. It does have that like cola, taste and like that the mouthfeel and all that tastes like you're drinking a pop. The only kind of weird thing about it, and it's very faint, but a little bit of like the after like if you take a sip. About a minute later, your mouth just has kind of like the sweetness, like you had a milk stout or whatever, but just like a faint little bit, and that's the kind of beer I don't like. So just that faint little bit knocks it down a little bit for me, but still I'd give it a 4. Like it's not a beer that you would buy a whole lot of. Like it's a root beer stout, so it's kind of a.
When you say 4, are you ready to get a 5?
4 to 5.
4 to
ready-
5. 8 out of 10
There you go.
for just personal preference. I'd say it's around there, and I'd give it the I don't know. It's probably a little bit lower for like it's saying it's a stout. It's very thin. It's very I don't know. It's more like I don't know. If there was like a cola beer style, this would be high. But for a stout, I would give it like a pretty low rating, like maybe a 6.75 or 7.
They should have just called it root beer.
Yeah, root beer. It would have been a whatever style that is.
What's the ABV on it?
Porter.
6. It's
I wonder if they do a barrel aged version. That'd be interesting to see.
They did. And
They did.
How was that?
Look at my reviews. Go back and have a check on my reviews.
No, just like give me
We
one
have to watch
one
Dan's
sentence.
channel.
Was it good? Was it bad?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool. What was the ABV on the barrel aged?
that they did a barrel aged version because I looked at Dan's Untapped of it.
Nice. What was the ABV? What was the ABV on the barrel aged one?
I don't know. I didn't look it up, but there is a comment from the Alcoholocaust saying that there is a barrel aged version, which made me
Nice.
laugh.
Oh, the good old alcoholic.
Dan, do you remember Dan the ABV on that one?
I want to say 7.5, but this was like 6 years ago. So
That's a pretty weak barrel aged beer right there. Wow.
Yeah. So
Well, you can technically barrel age anything. You can
Yeah.
barrel age this crack canoe.
Remember Lager Shed?
Oh yeah.
gross.
Barrel aged for a week.
Just to expedite things, I will pick Lady Lee's beer because I feel a kinship with her, being the only other person that could probably spell hibiscus. And
Wow.
I'm Lager Boy right now, so there you go. Cheers, fuckers.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Jamie. All right, so there's only one person left, and that's me. So I'm
Hey,
going to
Nick.
talk here. Everybody has to listen to me for once, but I'll probably still get talked over. Ooh. All right, so my thoughts on Derek's single hop American IPA. The only thing I got to say about this is like Scott was saying, like, oh, you didn't like the first batch of it because it was too hoppy. I'm like, I kind of wish it was a little bit hoppier than this. But at the same time, I'd enjoy it. It kind of goes. It does take like the American IPA style, but it kind of dumbs it down and more like it's not super bitter like an IPA normally would be, but it's still. I would say probably in the ballpark like 40 IBU or something like that. It's still a pretty decently hoppy beer, but it's definitely taking lessons from the New England hop style in the sense that the hoppiness is subdued. Usually an American IPA, like American like East Coast or West Coast IPA, not counting New England IPAs. I'm usually, especially with this one being as clear as it was, I'm usually thinking of a hoppier beer than this. But I still really friggin' enjoyed this. This was a pretty tasty beer. I feel like in the can, it's even less hoppier than it was when I had it on tap. I had it on tap. It was actually really fruity and friggin' delicious. This one here, it comes off as almost like I want to say vinous. Like it's not like sour or nothing. It's just it kind of reminds me of drinking a wine or something. It's like lightly grapefruit, hint of passion fruit, very dry. and a light touch of cereal grains in it. It's a very, very refreshing beer. I would definitely get this again, even the can that I'm talking about. I would definitely buy more of these. I really enjoy it. Who am I? I'm just a shill on YouTube, so I'm not going to question the judgment of Mr. Derek when it comes to making a less hoppy batch of this stuff. But I know what my tastes are. I probably would have preferred the first version, but I still really enjoy this one. And I'm entitled to my opinions, damn it. So yeah, like as you can see, this episode's gone long enough that I've got like maybe that much left. Now none left in my glass, and I will give this 8s all around. I'll give it an 8 for style and an 8 for overall enjoyment. I do enjoy it. It's very refreshing, and I would definitely get this again. So yeah, that said, why don't we just go back lightning round and talk to everybody? Like Scott, let's go back to Scott and say, Scott, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you rather have had?
I would say I want to try Jamie's.
Yay!
All right. Okay, thank you, Scott. Let's go to Redbeard. Which one would you have rather have had?
Dan's, I guess.
Dan's?
Yeah. Fucking space puffin.
Boo.
Space
All right.
puffin. I will give you credit, Jamie. Your cool camera work on your crushed can that I don't think anybody else noticed. You were doing for a few minutes there. That was fancy, but yeah, sorry. Too
Hi,
thin.
Greg.
Hey, Nick. I would have loved to have tried Scott's beer.
Scott's beer. Okay. Scott's beer. Scott had Moosehead.
Yep, I would have loved to have tried it because I'd love to try the beer that he's shilling for.
Just a look at Scott laughing right there. All right. So thank you. We've already talked to Lee, but you know what? I'm gonna take Jamie out and put Lee back in and say, Lee, have you heard anything that make you want to change your mind? Just because I noticed you're still there.
Yeah, I am still. I was listening. I was still listening. No, I am still on Team Dan. He's my my nemesis, but right. I think I'm gonna have to vote for him tonight. So.
Oh wow!
I'm not a stout fan, so that's the only reason. Like, I just cannot do stouts. And
Jamie explained that stout beer is like it's stout in name only.
I've been told that many times before. I've been told that by Greg. I've been told that by somebody else for so many stouts to try, and I've never liked one. The only one I've ever liked was the one that everybody else hated.
Do you like root beer? Do you like root beer? Because apparently it just tastes.
It does not matter.
Oh, okay, all right.
It does not matter.
She's entitled to have an opinion.
No. I just said I don't know.
Remember, she absolutely loved Double Tempest.
Oh, totally. No, every time I try one, and everyone time says you're gonna like this, you're gonna like this, you're gonna like this. It's like this introduction to stouts. I hated it. The only one I've ever liked was the one that everybody hated. So no, I don't want it. I do not want to try it.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Dan. Dan, of all the beers you had here tonight, which one would you rather have had?
You know, I'm a sucker for names and everything else like that. And I've already had the root beer stout, and it actually was called a root beer milk stout back in the day. And the barrel was 8%, not 6.
Ooh, hardcore.
It still was up there. It's still a barrel aged. It still worked for me. But you know what? Like I said, I'm a sucker for names. So Sasquatch Schnitzel is where I would go with a Vienna style lager because that name I would just be like, yeah, let's try this.
I did this one. I didn't do the Sasquatch.
Yeah, you can't pick the one she didn't have.
Oh, you beat me up, Scotty. I'm straight. Well, I still would choose that one because it's got fucking Star Trek right there. And I've got a glass that's got Scotty on it. So, I mean, got to go with that one.
All right. So that's Dan's vote is on Lee's beer. All right.
Yeah, as much as my nemesis too.
All right. So I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to take Dan out again. And I'll put Jamie back in and say, Jamie, I know you crushed your can and all, but I imagine you enjoyed it. Of all the beers here you had here tonight, which would you rather have had?
He said it already.
Lee's beer.
Lee's beer?
Lee's beer.
You did say that, okay.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to expedite it and say what beer I have.
That's how long. That's how
well
long
done,
we've been
Nick.
doing this.
Well done.
That's how long we've been doing this. Is I totally forgot that Jamie said that at the end of this thing. So I guess it's
I'm
my
a very
turn
forgettable
to
person.
be the deciding factor here. And of all the beers that I've heard here tonight, a lot of them sound pretty interesting. Like I guess the big one when it comes to Carrie's beers, I was hoping to hear a bit more. Like calling it a Scotty ale makes me think Scottish ales, but
I was expecting like
no
a Scotch.
smoke, no roasted malt. I was like, yeah, I was.
The roasted
totally
malt was there,
sounded
but
what I expected.
it wasn't a Scotch ale though. Yeah.
So not that one.
cute, but still
There's
tasty.
really two that I'm kind. Jamie sounded interesting too, where it's like a root beer stout. But he said it was a little thin, so I'm like, you know what? I've had a couple of beers from. I think I've
stout
had at
in
least
name
one
only.
beer from Russell Brewing, and it was good. Yeah, I guess that one didn't sound all that interesting when he said it. Like, of course, the root beer is gonna have a thinner body and shit.
It was
So it really comes down to two different beers, and as much as I like Crack Canoe, it's not one of them. So the two beers to me that are the ones that are currently in the lead for votes tonight, which are of course the Beach Me Up Scotty from Lee, and of course the Space Puffin from Dan.
Oh shit! It's a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so between the two of them, I've got to go with the fact that I fucking love Star Trek, and I have to talk. Like, I would like to try that Beam Me Up Scotty, even if it's not as good as what Dan had. It's a fucking cool label. So winner tonight is Lady Lee.
Lady Lee literally won.
Better
She
than
literally
Dan.
won with Nick's boner.
Oh, there we go. I got it.
She's literally better than Dan tonight.
Although in this case, Dan,
And
you
I
might
even
have-
voted. If I didn't vote for her, I would have won, or it would have been
Hey, you know
a
what?
tie.
How do we
So-
switch it over? Like,
But
I
in- but
voted
in
for
the-
you, so.
In this case, you only won because you didn't arouse Nick enough, so that might actually be a good thing.
Jesus, what?
Mm,
And
you're
we've
not wrong.
Didn't
we've
arouse Nick?
updated the certificate, Greg. Greg, we've updated the certificate.
We have, and in fact, let's just double check the certificate
Oh, fuck off, Greg.
with the weird serial killer bouquet of Lady Lee's face above it.
I really want to know what your cleaning lady thinks
No,
if she's
no,
asked
we
for a
You totally
raise
didn't show
recently.
the certificate. You
show-
just
you didn't
showed
show
Lee's
it.
faces.
You
Show
didn't
the
Yeah,
show
that's,
it.
certificate.
all you need to see. That's all you need to see is Leo's faces. That's
Oh, okay, sorry.
And now go down.
Go
No,
down
we
a
didn't see
little
what
bit.
it says.
How
We didn't see
far,
what
how
it
far
says.
down do you want me to go?
Well, we
Well,
didn't see
you're
what it
wearing
says.
pants, I
Wait,
hope.
there,
The
stop.
actual certificate.
I can't
Literally
see what you
anyway.
guys
Sure,
are
no,
seeing.
Literally
I'm not-
anyone for being
Literally anyone is better than Dan.
Here, hold on. Let me do this a different way because I can't actually see what you guys are seeing. There we go.
There we go. Now we can actually see the certificate and ladies.
And look-
Oh,
Yeah.
literally anyone.
Me and Lady Lee can finally be
Good.
together.
Blow some kisses. Blow some kisses, Greg.
Gucci, Gucci.
Oh, give me.
I need to go.
Jesus. All right.
Well,
So
well, dream of that while you're sleeping tonight.
I'm going to
good.
put
Bye, bye.
Fuzz back up and we can read the rest of the comments before
Welcome
we
to
take
my
off.
nightmare.
All right, I'll be quick. I'm gonna go fast with these. Okay. Oh man, there's a lot of them. Thanks for the invite, Nick, from Albino Reno. Lee Russell
You're
says,
invited,
by
Jamie.
the way, Carrie is right about Schnitzel, but with the beer being a Vienna lager, it's got to be
Wow.
referring to Wiener Schnitzel, the sausage version associated with Vienna. Lee Russell
you
says, I realizes this as I recently reviewed a Vienna lager called Wiener Lager.
Wiener.
That's kind of funny.
We have a wiener.
And Lee says Schnitzel Wiener Art. Lee also says that's what it's called. Lee Russell says your Wiener Art. Lady Lee says anyway, it really doesn't matter. It's a picture from a brewery, so the rest of you can do the homework as to why they did so. Lee Russell, Carrie is sucking up to Scott more than Scott is shilling for Moosehead tonight.
Oh,
Face
Free beer.
Okay.
news. We'll
Oh,
go
that's nice.
one. Lady Lee. Also, there's also not the beer I chose. Redbeard. Lee Russell, your concept of sucking up is broken. I said he's doing a good job of promoting his brand. What the hell? Lee Russell, I know. You know what? Even Vienna Schnitzel isn't a sausage. The can is right, or the can is wrong. Carrie is right. Calm
Oh,
down.
God. Don't give him credit.
Cheers, Lee.
Don't encourage him.
Lady Lee says Wiener Art. Mr. Lee says I'd rather see Scott Blackula. Justin Tinker,
course.
Maxwell. Everyone has to listen to me. Justin Tinker mutes the stream. Lee Russell, the woman is talking irrationally. Lee Russell
She's not here anymore.
also said that thing. And Albino Reno, I hope no one drank a high BB session tonight.
Saison.
Time to go change Saison tonight. Time to go change the sheets. Lee Russell has said, what is next week's beer, as well as PA Brew News.
Lee and PA Brew News. Paul has asked what next week's beer is. And to introduce what next week's beer is, Greg, you still got that bottle of Pumpkin that you were drinking? All right. It's pumpkin beer, right? Yeah. Next week's beer is bring your own spooky beer, like October, like pumpkin or
anything Halloween related, so it doesn't have to be pumpkin.
Harvest or scary or spooky kind of monster, ghosts or something like that.
It can be a glow-in-the-dark can from a brewery that used to put pumpkin in their beer, but doesn't do that anymore because they're stupid.
And
thankfully,
Greg.
I wonder if there's such a very specific beer
Fall,
like that.
basically fall or spooky or pumpkin themed beers. So
And thankfully, Greg is sending pumpkin and all those great beers that he picked up in the United States to everybody on this panel.
Woo!
He's like the
Greg.
BA101 Oprah.
BA101.
But
the BA101 Oprah.
And you get a pumpkin, and you get a pumpkin.
Oh,
no, I never in my life thought I would utter these words, but Jamie, I have more friends than beers to send out, so that's gonna be a problem.
Jesus, you never have that problem.
I know, I've never before. Like you guys, some of you guys need to start hating me.
All right. Well,
or finish hating you.
There you go. I will insult all your dead fathers, and if you have any dead mothers, I'll insult them too.
Wait! You know what, Lee? That's she used to like I feel like these days, for quite some time now, actually, Oprah's not been. But back in the day, yeah, there was a whole Oprah fat thing there. Yeah, not bad. Not a bad joke.
I don't know. I just in this day and age, I applaud the Polish Oprah, and I love Greg and his
Polish
I am basically the Polish Oprah. Like
he's
Wow.
Polpra.
There
we go.
Exactly.
She never stopped being fat in spirit. I don't even know. Yeah, sure.
I-
Why not?
I feel it's
Okay,
true.
we're
I
gonna-
feel even when people lose weight, they're still fat in spirit.
Okay, so we better wrap this episode up. So thanks everybody for watching. We had Justin and Lee and Dan was in the chat.
There was a Paul
Whatever.
at one point.
There was a Paul straight. Paul was in the chat. Cheers, Paul. We'll talk to you guys later next week when we do spooky beers for our last week of October, and we will we'll chat with you then.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
And of course, we always have to stick the penis in the end.
We got the penis.
Good to have you back, Beardo.
We love your penis.